Pros, save more on the materials you need to get the job done, inside and out, at Lowe's. Right now, get 10% off in-stock Trex Naturals decking, now available in more styles. Plus, get 15% off select custom entry, interior, and storm doors. Then, we'll deliver it all straight to your job site to help keep your jobs moving. Get the brands pros trust, priced right, and ready when you need them. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Welcome to Living Zen. This is Eshu. I have a question. So, I've been posting talks on this podcast for close to 20 years. Not continuously, I know. There have been gaps and stretches of silence and periods where I honestly wasn't sure I'd even come back. But when I add it all up, we're looking at close to 2 decades of sitting down with a microphone clipped to me, offering these teachings. And I know that you've been here with me. I know this because there have been 1.7 million downloads. So apparently people are finding this, and it seems like people are listening. So here's my question. Why don't you let me know who you are? Now, I want to be fair. I've thought about this a lot, and I have some theories. Maybe you don't think your voice makes a difference. Who am I to leave a comment on a podcast by a Zen teacher? What would I even say? Will he even read it? Or maybe it just doesn't feel particularly Zen to you, like giving thumbs up to a Dharma talk you really enjoyed would somehow diminish your samadhi. Maybe, and I think this one is more common than we admit, you assume that I wouldn't even notice, that the download numbers probably tell me everything I need to know, that one person's individual response is just noise. Well, I can tell you this. Not long ago, someone reached out to me through my Zen mentorship program. And in the course of our conversation, they mentioned to me that they'd been listening to the Living Zen podcast for years, more than a decade. And they said that there was one particular talk that they had listened to dozens of times. The same talk, dozens of times. It had become a part of their practice, a part of their life even. And they had never liked it. They'd never left a comment. They'd never shared it. And I'm honestly not sure I can express how that hit me. When I started posting these talks, I had something specific in mind. I give these talks in a living zendo. Real people who are there, in the room, sitting zazen on their zafus. And there's an intimacy in that, a vulnerability. It's a sacred space, not a performance. Putting those talks online felt like opening up the door. More than that, it felt like an invitation. If this is for you, well then come on in. And 1.7 million times, someone like you has come in. But when almost none of them say anything at all, and yet come back again and again, it feels a bit like feeding hungry ghosts. I think you know what I mean. Hungry ghosts aren't evil. They're suffering. They're caught in endless consumption that can never truly satisfy. Always taking, never full, and never quite present enough to even recognize or acknowledge what they've already received. And of course, I'll keep setting out those offerings. I'll always know something has been here because there are signs. But then there's silence. And I'm not saying that that's you necessarily. I'm saying that's the dynamic. Not only here on the Living Zen podcast, but probably for every podcast you listen to and every creator on the web. And I think it's worth naming this dynamic because I don't believe most people are intentionally consuming without care. I think most people genuinely don't know what kind of impact your small actions have. And that's something I can actually do something about. A good friend of mine recently shared this story. When he was young, he and his friend were walking through a city, chaperoned by his friend's father. Along the way, there was a busker playing. You know how it goes. Most people just keep walking past. The music is there, the musician is there, and the world just keeps moving right on by. There's nothing personal. It's just people moving at the speed of modern life. But my friend stopped. Something about the playing caused him to actually stop and listen. His friend's father noticed, and afterwards, he pulled my friend aside and laid out a maxim that has stayed with him to this very day. He said, "If a busker's playing makes you stop and listen, then you owe that busker $1. Not because the busker is going to demand it from you, not because there's a sign or a law saying that you must, but because something within you recognized something within what was being offered. And that recognition, the father was saying, carries with it an obligation, reciprocity." Lately, I've been thinking about that a lot. So I wanted to talk about how this really works and why the way you engage matters. These platforms that we all use, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening right now, they're all running on algorithms, which are just programs that say, if this happens, then take that action. Essentially, it's cause and effect. And these algorithms are making decisions constantly about what to show people in their social feeds, what to suggest you might also like, what to surface to someone who's never heard of your work. In a nutshell, what gets found and shared, and what gets buried. The way these algorithms make their decisions is by watching what people do, how they engage, how they interact with the content, what they're actually doing, their behavior. So every time you click like on an episode, whether it's on a podcast episode or a YouTube video or a Substack article or anything else, you're not just expressing a personal preference. You're actually sending a powerful signal. The platform reads it as, people are stopping here. This content is meaningful and it's creating a connection. It must be worth showing to others. Just like when a busker starts to draw a crowd, you're more inclined to check it out yourself because it must be good. A single like from you adds to that calculation. It might seem a small thing, but it's real and it matters. Subscribing or following a creator are part of the same system, but they're even more powerful. You're telling the platform, I want more of this. These platforms are designed to deliver precisely the content that people want more of. When you're subscribed, you get notified as soon as something new comes out. And this is the part that people really don't think about. Subscriber count determines how strongly the platform promotes that creator in the first place. A channel with 50,000 subscribers gets completely different treatment than one with 5,000. And comments are probably the strongest signal of all. A comment tells the algorithm, this person stopped here long enough to think of something to say and took the effort to type it out. Now that's a depth of engagement that platforms weight very heavily. Even a short comment. Even if someone comments, your podcast sucks, they're actually making an exponentially larger positive impact because the algorithm doesn't read sentiment, it reads engagement. And even 3 angry words are concrete engagement data. And then, of course, there's sharing. Sharing is the one thing no algorithm can really replicate. Anytime you send an episode link directly to one person, not the general blast to your whole feed, just, I heard this and I thought of you. there's something in it that I thought might matter to you. Then you're doing something that no platform can manufacture. It's personal recommendation, human to human. You're saying, I stopped to listen to this. I think that you might find it worth stopping for too. And what I'm talking about here is the Busker's dollar. Because in spite of the distance between us, and although I can't hold out my hat to you, I'm just a Dharma busker. And I want to say this as directly as I can. None of this has ever been free. This podcast simply could not exist without years of study and practice and preparation in multiple domains. It's the fruit of 20 years of being committed to showing up for living practice in a community, meeting what's in the room without a script and attempting to express it in words, things that are fundamentally inexpressible, and recording myself while I'm doing it. There is no production budget. There is no editing staff. There is no marketing team or corporate sponsors. It's just been me, year after year, bringing you living Zen. And I do it because it matters. So when I look at those numbers, more than 1.5 million downloads, and still almost nothing in terms of response or interaction, I want to be honest how that lands for me. It's kind of like being a busker who's been standing on the same corner playing for 20 years and has looked up one day and realized that, in spite of the crowds, almost nobody has left $1. And one has to wonder, genuinely, if what I'm playing actually matters to anyone at all. So I'd love if you'd let me know. Please. If something here has ever made you stop, this episode, an older talk, anything, I'm asking you to pay the Dharma Busker's $1. Like that episode. Leave a comment, even if it's just one word. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share the episode with one person you think might really benefit from it. Any one of these actions takes you only seconds, but those seconds matter more than you'll probably ever know. They'll let me know that living Zen matters to you. So that's my ask. The Dharma Busker's $1.